We're at the botanical gardens. It's like literally a lush jungle, essentially. This thing, it's awesome. It's awesome here. Beats the shit out of LA, that's for sure. What's going on, everybody? I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller, and you can see I'm in my office, which means, unfortunately, I am back in pee-pee-poo-poo homeless land, also known as Los Angeles, California. It is 3:51 p.m. Let's get down to business. Alright guys, so I've made a ton of episodes talking about a checklist everyone should have when traveling with watches, but some of my new subscribers have seen that I myself have been traveling a lot recently, and they've been asking me a whole lot of the same questions. And specifically, people have been asking me, how do you travel with pricier watches? Now, full disclosure, the watches that I've been traveling with were two. It was one, my SBBN 031 Seiko Tuna, and my Doxa Sub 200 Seagraph 2. Now, those aren't the most expensive watches in the world. Combined, it's about like 4,300 bucks. And if I travel with like one of my Rolexes, that's already more money than both of those combined. But I understand like $4,300 is not an insignificant amount of money. And it's money that I would not want to, throw away. So here are 5 things that you need to know when traveling with pricier watches. Number 1, have a decent travel case, okay? I've made many reviews on travel cases. Here's all you need to know. There are these little donuts called watch pods. You can find various versions of these things on Amazon, and I can find them all day for like 12 bucks. Doesn't need to be expensive. Just get something that can, hold your watch nice and snug, and hopefully have a harder exterior so that when it gets knocked around, you're not bashing up your watch. Number 2, never take your watch off at a TSA checkpoint, okay? They will almost never ask you to take your watch off of your wrist. Never ever do it. And then the other watch or watches that you are traveling with, have them in your personal item. So most airlines allow you to have one carry-on and a personal item like a backpack or briefcase. Keep those in your backpack. Number 3, know where you're at. Okay, like know where you are at and where you're going, because there are some places that you may be traveling to where you just might, realistically not want to have a watch on your wrist, especially not a pricier one. Like, here's the deal, guys. If you're traveling here to Los Angeles, I probably wouldn't recommend you wear a pricey watch. Period. And I understand people are going to be like, well, why would you ever travel to a place where you couldn't wear a nice watch? Truth is, a lot of places are going downhill, guys, all right? And even if you go to really nice places, bad things can still happen to you, bad things can still find you. And most recently, I was on the island of Oahu, and we were traveling in the nicer areas of Honolulu, Waikiki. We went to some like kind of rural areas, hiking around Kailua and places like that. We saw the botanical gardens up in kind of the lush mountain area. But the truth is, for the most part, we were in nicer areas, and it wasn't really a high-risk situation wherever we were. But still, I was aware of my surroundings. I have good situational awareness. I'm a bigger dude, and that probably also helps a little bit. I'm kind of a hard target, so to speak. But still, regardless of where we're going, I try to have good situational awareness and understand like what's happening around me. And at the end of the day, again, though, I do try to stay in areas that are going to cause me the least amount of trouble. Number 4, gold is flashy. Okay, even if it's not real gold. Okay, if you have a plated piece or a gold tone piece, it's still going to look flashy and eye-catching, and there are certain areas or certain times where you just might not want that added attention. Just something to keep in mind. And the 5th thing I want to bring up is that traveling with watches is fun. It's really fun. And as an enthusiast, it allows you to really spend quality time with specific watches that you choose to be with for a period of time. Now, we are very fortunate to have collections of a bunch of watches to pull from, but when you travel and you only bring a couple watches with you, it really forces you to spend some time with those watches, and you learn a whole lot about what it's like to wear over an extended period of time. time. Like this Doxa, fairly new to me, but now traveling with it, I feel like I know a whole lot more about it. I feel like I have a deeper bond with it, so to speak, as a watch in my collection. And it's just incredible to have the watches tell stories, right? You know, these watches that I got to hike with and swim with and explore on Oahu and be with my girl, these watches will tell a story. I can look at them and remember, hey, you know, when we were, you know, at Lanikai Beach and we were swimming around the islands and it was just a whole lot of fun. Or remember when we went on this hike over at Diamond Head and we were counting the steps up and everybody was huffing and puffing. This tuna, remember, it was on my wrist. And it's just fun to have those stories to tell and reminisce about them and using your watches as a token to do so. So hopefully that list helped you when it comes to considering things when you're traveling with pricier watches. And again, the watches that I traveled with weren't all that pricey. They're like not nearly the most expensive watches that I own. But there's two more questions that I've been getting constantly, and it has nothing to do with watches, so I want to bring them up right now. It has to do with the footwear that I was wearing in my videos while I was in Hawaii. First, I was getting questions about my hiking boots that I was wearing. Well, these weren't hiking boots. These are hiking shoes. These are like kind of like trail running shoes from Adidas, and I don't know the exact model, but I got these on Amazon, and I'm gonna leave a link. If I can find an affiliate link, I'll make an affiliate link, and again, when you click those, it helps the channel out a bunch. But I'm gonna leave a link to these exact shoes in the description below. Now, one thing I love about these, that although they were very, very proficient at hiking, and you can see the very aggressive soles there, they were actually very comfortable on pavement. And again, we were actually doing little jogs every morning because my girlfriend's a fitness nut. So I was putting in like about 2 miles of running in the mornings, and it was super comfortable running on pavement. And then when we would go on hikes, it was, you know, I wasn't slipping and sliding, and just walking around day to day around the city, it was, you know, very, very comfortable. So those are great little Adidas like trail running shoes. And then the second pair of footwear that I brought were these sandals, okay? And I know when you're looking at them, you're like, oh, Tevas. These aren't Tevas. Tevas are like over 50 bucks, and I'm a cheap bastard because I spend all my money on car parts and wristwatches. These are like knockoff Tevas that I got on Amazon. They're called Colgos. These are $24.99 on Amazon right now. I'm gonna leave an affiliate link in the description below where you can check these out. Super cushiony, very springy, incredibly comfortable. I was wearing these for the first time in Hawaii. Like I bought these, they showed up the day we were gonna leave. I packed them, put them on for the first time in Hawaii, and I was like, dang, this was a good purchase. These are super comfortable. They're actually listed as hiking sandals, and they do have an aggressive sole there. So I suppose you can do some hiking with these, but you know, I brought the Adidas for that purpose. But yeah, very comfortable, super affordable, and I can't recommend these enough, because even if these do fall apart on me, I'm just gonna buy another pair because they are so cheap. And there you have it, guys. Jokes aside, I'm happy to be back. I mean, I was still able to put out an episode pretty much every day, so hopefully you didn't miss me too much. But I did miss my cats and I missed my family, so it was nice to, you know, come home and see everybody. And it's Hanukkah tonight, so happy Hanukkah for all those who celebrate. I'm gonna go and yeah, go light my menorah and do Jew things. All right, guys, I love you. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay blessed. I'm Jory Goodman at The Time Telling. Always remember, I didn't invent time. I just tell it.